Hey, what's up, everybody? In this activity 1.3.2, making holes in CAD, what you're going to have to do is take all of your partners that are in your group and you're going to be splitting up these parts. So you're going to be getting parts that are partially completed, and then what you have to do is add holes to these parts. Okay, so the actual parts that you're going to be downloading can be found right here. This is within cohort connection number 4, and we can see that there are 4 parts that we have. Okay, what they're also giving us are going to be these multi-view drawings. Okay, so in my first case, I want to say I'm going to be working on that base top. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it. You can see that downloads down into here. And what that means for me in Fusion is you can see how I have created a new folder, okay, within my project, which is my summer 2021 IED training. And I have created a folder called Trammel Toy Parts. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on that. And now what I can do is I can do an upload. I can select the file from my downloads, which is going to be my base top, which is what I just picked. Okay, now I can go ahead and do the upload. You're going to see the status bar. It's now saying it's complete, so I can go ahead and close that, and now we can see that my base top is over here. All right, once that is in there, what I'm going to do is go ahead and double click on that, and I'm just going to open this up. Okay, so the second thing that we need to do is take a look at the base plate drawing, which is annotated. We're going to open this up, and when we drag this over, this is what it is we're going to see. So we have a couple issues with this. We can see that there are dimensions on here, but if you look close enough, you're going to see that there are a lot of dimensions that are missing. The issue is that it's basically telling us, hey, record the missing dimensions of the trammel toy part if they're basically not on the multi-view drawing. The issue that you have is that you don't have the actual plate to measure. All right, so this is kind of worthless to us. Okay, you can't go in and actually measure those with the dial calipers. So instead, what you're going to be seeing in the Google Drive folder is going to be a working drawing. Okay, that's going to look like this. So I'm giving you all the dimensions that you need. So I'm going to have this on my second screen. Okay, and I'm going to be referencing this as I'm placing all the holes, okay, for our base top. Okay, so with that being said, jumping over into Fusion, I can go ahead, open this part up, and now we can go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to be flipping this over, taking a look at it in this orientation. All right, and now what we can do is come up here and go to the hole feature. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is come here and pick on the face. I want to drop that hole on. All right, now all I have to do is start putting in my references. Now it all depends on how this dimension is showing. So in this case, I'm going to come over to this edge right here, and I'm going to pick on that edge, and the distance that that needs to be over is 0.375. Okay, the second edge I'm going to be picking is going to be coming up from the bottom according to my dimensions, and that distance needs to be 3.875. Okay, so we can see that is moving into place. Now what I need to do is here within this dialog box is to come down and put in my actual hole diameter. Okay, so taking a look here, it looks like that's going to be 0.23. And for my extents, okay, if you actually read the actual note on the drawing, it says that all slots and holes are all the way through. So we can just say all for this and okay. And now we have just dropped in my first hole. Okay, so I'm going to come in here for the second time, pick on the face to drop in my second hole. And it looks like my reference this time is going to be this edge. That needs to be a distance of 1.5. Okay, and now I can come down here and reference this edge, and that needs to be a distance up of 3.875. Okay, my diameter in this case needs to be a diameter of 0.177. And once again, my distance for this is going to be through all. Okay, and now I can go ahead and say okay. All right, so on to hole number 3. I'm going to be picking on this face. Okay, my reference for this one is going to be up from the bottom, 2.75. So I'm going to pick on that, type in 2.75, and then it looks like my reference is going to be over a distance of 0.375. Okay, that needs to be a diameter of 0.177. So if I scroll down, make sure that this is 0.177, which it is. And then my distance needs to be through all. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK. All right, on to hole number 4, picking on the surface. Okay, my reference edge is going to be coming off of the bottom. This is a distance of 2.75. And then my second reference edge is going to be this guy right here, which is going to be over a distance of 1.5. Okay, the diameter on that needs to be 0.191. So I can come down here and change this to 0.191. Okay, and then my extents is going to be through all, and I'm going to say okay. So that's going to be the fourth hole that I create. Okay, the fifth hole I'm going to create is going to be somewhere over here. And it looks like that's going to come over from this reference edge. That's going to be a distance of, just want to make sure this is right, 3.375. And then coming off of the bottom, okay, that needs to be a distance up of 2.875. Okay, the diameter on that is a diameter of 0.2, so I can scroll down, make that guy where that is 0.2. Okay, and then just make sure that this is through all and say okay. Okay, on to what? Hole number 6. Okay, I'm going to place it in this area right here. That needs to be over a distance of 2.75 from this reference edge. And the second reference is going to be this edge right here, and that needs to go up a distance of 1.5. Okay, the diameter on this one, okay, is going to be a diameter of 0.23. And my extents on this one is going to be through all, and I say okay. Okay, placing our next hole, we can see it's going to be over here somewhere. Okay, the reference edge on this one is going to be a distance of 3.875. Okay, and my distance up for this is going to be a distance of 1.5. Okay, the diameter on that one needs to be 0.177. And the extents on this is it's going to go through all. We're going to say okay. Okay, now we're down to 2 more holes here on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and place my hole right here. Okay, my reference edge over from this side is going to be 2.75. My reference edge from the bottom is going to be 0.375. My diameter on this needs to be a diameter of 0.177, which it already is. My extents need to be through all. I'm going to say okay. And finally, our last hole, I'm going to go ahead and place it here on this surface. Okay, the distance coming up is going to be the same as the last, which is 0.375. My reference on this one is going to be 3.875. Okay, now I can come and scroll down, find my diameter, and the diameter on this hole needs to be 0.191. Okay, and it needs to be through all, and I'm going to say okay. All right, so that is how you're going to be creating the holes, okay, for the top portion of the base of your trammel toy.